Good morning. Happy hump day. How y'all feeling today? I'm very much in pain today. Yeah, woke up. I had a shitty night. Shitty night, you guys. So, Grandpa was up all night. Dan woke me up, of course. Had trouble falling asleep. And then Grandpa was up all fucking night. So my neck is killing me. My neck is killing me. So my pain level today is about 6 in my neck. So, yay! I'm gonna try to be spunky for y'all. Gosh, hot purple jack. The live last night. Oh my gosh, you guys. We had fun on our member live last night. Will he sleep all day now? No. He'll snooze probably this morning. God, you all. I wanted to strangle him. I had fun last night on the member live. I was hoping those of you who don't engage in the types of things we were doing thought it was fun. Pop. Poop on pop. Pop and poop. Pudding pop. Who remembers churros? Well, that's funny. Churro cookies. Churro gummies? Who's eating those? Shit, it was a riot. It does make a rough day for me. I'm not doing well. I'm not okay today. I'm not okay. You rewatched it? Oh my God. Hi, Goodman. It was funny. There was no churro gummies. I was high as a kite last night. And I did a member live. And half of my people were also. So we were all over the board. The conversations last night was all crazy. We were all in different conversations. Oh my God, we were laughing. Anyhow, my member live is now a gummy high live or Benjamin live high. You must only, no, I'm just kidding. Hi, Christy. Christy sent me a sweet message. Today is National Kindness Day. What pop? Is there poop on the pop? Pop in the poop. What? Bill Cosby. Huh? Pudding. Pop. What? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all, I've never laughed so hard in my entire life. That's been that had me giggling forever. Kim, we were just talking about it. We were laughing so hard last night. Grandpa Ed complimented me. Yes, he said I was, what did he say? Pleasant. He called me pleasant. He said I was the cookies started it. The cookies did start it. So it was really Joni's fault. Your pillow was laughing. It was really Joni's fault. Where is Joni? She started the shenanigans. And then, no, it wasn't Jade's fault. It was Joni. Oh, there she is. It was Joni's fault because she came in and she said, sorry to change the subject, but Crumble Cookies has the best cookie week. She's still eating cookies. And then I said, what flavor are you eating? And somebody else said, what's the cookie menu? Shit. Have I always been this confident? Fuck no. That's one word people won't use to describe me. Joanne, you need to be a little bit more. What's one word? Or that's one word. Joanne, if you're being passive aggressive, honey child, you better be a little bit better than that. You said churro cookies are the best. Yes, and then somebody said, "Okay, churro gummies? Who had the churro gummies?" Hello? We're all laughing. I can't with y'all. Shit. Anywho, happy Kindness Day. Christy Lyons, thank you so much for the sweet, kind message. You put a smile on my face. Church gummies? Churro gummies came out of nowhere. Kay was being stupid. Churro gummies? Who took those? We all shared. You didn't see it? No. Lily thought so too about the churro. Anyway, y'all missed a good time. Yeah, I'm squeezing money out of the members. But it's so peaceful. Churro cookies, Kay. For the love of Pete. But because most of us had the gummies, she was assuming we were talking. That's what happens when you don't pay attention to a fucking conversation. Why was Ed up all night? You know what I tell Dan when he says, well, why did the cats piss everywhere? Go ask him. I don't fucking know. For the shit balls of life. Why was Ed up all night? I finally yelled at him. I was so irritated. I yelled. Oh no, trolls. I yelled. No, I didn't. I was really gruff. After the 50th time, he woke my fucking ass up. Yeah. Was I mad? Shit, I was. Was I irritated? The fuck I was. Did I want to strangle him? I sure fucking did. Get in bed. Get in bed. Well, where's Josh? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Edward, I am not talking about Josh right now. At all. Now is not the time to ask about fucking family. Now is the time to fucking sleep. We do get mad. Especially when I'm tired and he won't let me sleep. Remember how many of you cried when we were nursing babies and they wouldn't, I'm trying Coach Miller, and we just wanted sleep. Our titties hurt. Oh, God. Kind of the same thing, right? The same thing. Last night was horrible. And then Dan this morning, when he didn't get the response that he wanted. And I said, I'm fucking in pain. I am cranky because your dad, you know, January, you still here? Listen to this. I'm cranky because your dad kept me up all night. Oh, I was up too. I was up too. You were? Because I didn't see your fucking ass up. You sure as hell sounded like you were asleep to me. When I repeatedly had to get the fuck up and deal with him. Oh, I was up too. I didn't sleep. Yeah. Right? Snoring. Kimberly and your border collie. Yeah, fucking bullshit. I said, well, that's nice. So I lectured him. I think Kim had vodka. Because she felt like she had to participate somehow. Was it you, Kim? Oh yeah, you were. See, I remember. Y'all, he woke me up before 12, right? Because he was so agitated, he couldn't sleep. And then he comes in with the passive aggressive, you have to work on your time. Then he wants to, the passive aggressive, now, well, since you're up, now's a good time to talk to your husband. If you care about a relationship, you would, if you cared about a relationship, you wouldn't wake me up with your fucking ugly-trees in the middle of the night. How many times do I have to tell you that? Danielle, you have to keep in mind that when I do this, I'm just having fun with you. I don't know about you, but being woken up in the middle of the night because your husband can't sleep and listen to his ugliness, he thinks it's funny and wakes me up. And then he falls asleep and I'm left awake. Yeah, that's so fucking funny. If you cared about me, you would let somebody sleep, right? Why should we both have lack of sleep and no patience? I'm still trying to figure this out. It's like the trolls that keep coming back. Jade. It's like the trolls that keep coming back, right? They can't leave me alone, but they can't stand me. Oh, can they? Because they keep coming back. What? I'm so confused. And then he got so pissed off at me because I was yelling at him this morning, and said, oh, somebody's in a bad mood. Now, motherfucker. Mother clucker. The cluck. I said, huh. It's funny. Oh, this guy. Oh, hold on. We have our first troll comment. Not really, but one that I wanted to pay attention to. If this is from a man, Curtis Martin. If you cared about him, I need a microphone. Curtis Martin just joined in to say, if you cared about him, you would talk to him meaning my husband, and not the internet ass backwards. Well, Curtis. Oh, and then he just came in. Curtis came back, y'all, and he just called me a clown. I have been called a clown many times. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold.
What's going on? Where did you go? Where did she go? I thought she was coming in. Anybody know? Uh-oh. She's back. By the way, everything she's saying, bullshit. Let it go.
Of course.
It was a good night. She had a good night.
Out of here.
Ow, ow!
Now, Curtis.
Uh-oh. Send in the clowns.
Curtis. I don't have a clown mask or nose, but if I did, Curtis would see it. Curtis, now, I have been a clown, and if now Curtis says I'm abusive. Yes, I'm abusive to the idiots like you. Yes. Curtis seems to know that I wear clown outfits at night. I do dances, I do tricks, yes. And I've never heard of an abusive clown, but I'm sure some are angry, you know. I can assure you that this clown ain't abusive, nope. So, if my unit worked, I would have my karaoke machine. This microphone doesn't work, so I'm just using as a prop. I'm using it just as a prop. Okay. Curtis came back again. Your husband, Littler. Yeah, Curtis seems like an A student. Your husband literally dreaded you, coming to the point he said UT. Oh. Does anybody understand that? Let me reread that again. Maybe somebody can. Your husband littler dreaded you. We got that part. Coming to the point he said UT. Oh. Yeah. Anybody? Anybody get what that means? Talk about a clown, right? Talk about a clown, right? Now, some of these men, like the one we have just experienced, and he keeps coming back because he's an idiot. Yes. Oh, he said clown again. Yeah. And these are the people who can't see their own reflection. Yeah. Because it's my problem. I'm making him bitter today, y'all. So, if y'all understand what Curtis is saying and you agree with him, can you tell me what he means in his written words? Because I'm really confused. Yeah. Clowns' lives matter. Hashtag, that's right, Jay. You're abusive to your husband, it shows. Yes. Yes. Did you see the scratch on his forehead? Me. I was doing a clown trapeze act on a tightrope in my house. Yep, and he got in the way. Well, that's what we're telling people, Curtis. Yeah, he got in the way, and my little pointy toenail, because I was barefoot, accidentally came down upon his head. Well, that's the story we're telling everybody. Yeah. It's on the left, above the left eyebrow, Curtis, so right. Secret's out, y'all. The abuse is showing on my husband. I don't think Curtis understands anything or how the word works, but that's okay. Y'all have some dirt bikes? No. We got some mountain bikes, when you pedal, not that, turn on with gas. But if you have any dirt, we got some bikes. Flat tires, though. Flat tires. So, anywho, hi, Leah. Go back to complaining about your husband. Okay, thank you. Hey, Dan, you want to show your head? Well, you want to show Curtis that you're here waiting for your abuse? He's here, Curtis. You want to say hi to Dan? Go ahead. He's here watching his wife. Yep, waiting for his abuse. He takes every day because he actually secretly gets turned on. So after this, it's kind of like foreplay, foreplay. We go in and fuck like rabbits after this because he gets so excited. Yeah, he likes it. Anywho, have you ever seen a rabbit fuck, Curtis? I don't know. Look it up. I've heard it's really quick and full of a punch, a big punch. Yeah, Curtis, are you single? I would love to hook you up with one of my friends. We've got lots of eager women here looking for a nice man. Curtis, you here? Oh, look, he's here. All you single ladies say, hey, Curtis is over here. Come on over and start flirting. Yeah, I think he's looking for some love, some companionship. Yeah. No, thanks. The first turn down, Curtis. Candace is single, but she's not interested. You seem a little too nice for her. Yeah, try to sound a bit more gruff, Some of these women like a little toughness, macho-ness. You're being way too sweet. Yeah. You look like my lesbian neighbor. Shit! Do y'all know what a lesbian neighbor looks like? I don't know. Apparently, it's me. Nothing wrong with lesbians. I just didn't know they had a look. Yeah, well, if you're my neighbor, I guess I'd like to meet you. I'm Danielle, the new lesbian neighbor. Yeah, don't mind my husband. I'm really into vagina. Yep. I'm taking my husband as only beat. Oh, occasionally, yeah. You gotta hide the beatings. You gotta. Bran. Oh, Lord. Brianne's here, y'all. And Brianne just said, Danielle, ignore Curtis and pay attention to the rest of us. Are you all bothered by my comedy hour? Brianne appears to be irritated. Brianne, this may not be the channel for you, sweet pea. Yeah. Anyhow. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Anywho. Yes, I bought Dan. So, I'd like to announce, Dan made an announcement. Ed is now wearing Vans. Yes. Now, I would take to the bank ahead of time. Dan, I don't know, did you pick up some English skills from Curtis? Because I don't know what that means. Dan's taking lessons from Curtis. I don't understand what his written. Anywho, I would like to tell you, Ed is now a proud wearer of Vans slip-ons. Now, they're not just any slip-ons. Oh, you wasn't talking to me? Okay, honey. Yeah, see the passive-aggressive tone? Anyhow, they're checkered. Him, me, and Dan match. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. So we are all three matching. Am I happy about the election? Was there an election? Did you all? Wait. Y'all, did you know there was an election? When was it? Okay, that's it. I didn't know. My neighbor all around me still celebrating. Oh, fuck them. You need to have, Curtis is a churro. Oh, is that what we're gonna call people now? The ninny churro. No, because churros are sweet. What the hell's happening up here? Churros are sweet. That wasn't sweet. Don't get baited. Why? It's called fun. It's called trying to keep you guys entertained. It's trying to get you guys to laugh. I don't know why you guys have trouble seeing that. Not all of you, but just a sprinkle. A couple sprinkles of you. I'm trying to have fun, right? I'm trying to lighten up my attacks daily. I'm trying to learn to cope with the ugliness that we live in by trying to turn it around on them and show them what idiots they are. Yeah. Some of them get it, others don't. Yeah. Anywho, I'm finally on my 4th chapter. I know, I need to read it. I've been really busy. Now Christy gave me 3 more chapters. Yeah, of my own book. So I gotta read that too. I love laughing. Yes, my whole point is to laugh. Because if I didn't laugh and make fun and be sarcastic, let me tell you, I'd be 5150. Honestly, I would be locked up down the road in a mental ward because I would be in a whole downward spiral. Life is tough. Social media is tough. Having relationships is tough. Losing people is tough. Life is difficult. So I have learned how to deal with life and the stresses that come from it. No, my book's not available yet. So this is how I choose to make do and still keep on living and trucking is to have fun with the shit that surrounds me. The bullshit, right? The fun shit, the good shit, all the shit. So if you don't like my personality, that's okay. I am not meant for everybody. But look at it as we don't fit together, right? And that's okay. But there's other people you may fit with. This social media game is huge. Find somebody that brings you happy. Today is World Kindness Day. World Kindness Day. Now, to me, right? To me, that means do your best today to be kind and not so ugly, right? Brianna, didn't seem like you were on my side, honey, with the way you said. It's not. And maybe you just don't understand what I try to do, but this is how I cope with ugly. And a lot of people find it funny, you know? Hi, Gina. I'm always kind. You know, I'd like to believe that. I'm not always kind because I'm human. I have different spin cycles, right? I sometimes, like this morning, I'm not happy, right? I'm in pain. My head hurts. My head hurts. My pain level is about a 6. A 6. That's not good for me because it starts off as a 6. It's gonna rise today because of my inflammation, which is hard to contain my kindness, right? So those of you, yeah, she is being serious, Drake. She sent me a couple chapters. I haven't read it yet. Only you're pissy when you people. Me too. Hi, Stormy. Less candy. Yeah, it's Kindness Day, Dan. That means let your wife sleep. Help her out because I'm struggling. My head is pounding, and I could cry at any minute, honestly. You know, and that's what I mean, is that people don't understand. Just because I'm smiling, just because I'm joking and having fun with people doesn't mean, right, we all aren't going through our own shit, right? I woke up in a shit sandwich this morning. I didn't sleep. Well, I was frustrated because I was getting up all the time, which means what happens? I like that, GSR. My trigger spots. It's my biggest stress, right? Lands in my shoulders. So I woke up at a 5.5. Within an hour, right? Within an hour, I was at a 6. Now I got a headache. And typically, when you have this type of a problem, it doesn't just stop at a 6. It keeps going, right? It keeps snowballing. As more stress and irritations happen throughout the day, you build up. So I woke up here. That's pretty early, right? I'm hurting. But I'm here every day for you guys, right? I'm here. I'm learning more about myself. I'm learning more about my ailments. I'm accepting them, and I'm also learning about them, right? Now everything makes sense to me. So I'm documenting so I can see triggers and when I'm in my pain, right? Being woken up all night long, my neck has been good, decent, right? Hello in Ghana. It's been good. But as I got more stress throughout the night, right? It wasn't good. So I'm inflamed majorly. So let me have fun. Let me do my thing, right? You don't like it, step away. Step away. I'm also trying to cope with my headache, my day, and the bullshit that I have to deal with every day on this slab. And my videos. Yes. Anywho, pre-recorded, there's no such thing. And on my back, my neck feels better. Yes, Sam, because you have pain in another area, so your body's focusing on that pain. Yeah, I can't wait, Drake. She sent me a couple chapters. I just haven't, you know. I know. And now that I know what's going on, right? Some of you don't believe in fibromyalgia, right? Some of you use it as, you know, well, it is a blanket term. It might be for some of us. Some of us have known injuries and they still call it fibromyalgia, right? Due to herniations, whatever. It's been a history with me, right? So the more reflection I've had on it, I'm realizing that my pain is connected, right, to stress. Stress kills, right? Never believed it until I realized, holy shit, right? My stress started when my mom died. And my body was responding to my internal stress because I kept it inside. I didn't do anything with it. I kept it inside. And now, 18 and a half, almost 19 years later, right? All those imperfections and all that, my body reacting to keep me safe and sound is now hurting. I call it the women's disease. I call it the women's disease. So, for all you fiber warriors, right? Yes, I'm wondering who's your, I believe it's all interconnected, right? You have neck pain, we're all connected somehow, some way, right? So anyhow, yeah. So I'm gonna start talking more about it because I know a lot of you are dealing with the same shit. And I know you need to hear it from me. So I'm telling you, and now I will talk about it so you know, right? Because it makes people feel better when they have a connection, when they feel that they're not alone, right? Because a lot of us keep our pain to ourselves. A lot of us keeps our pain to ourselves and we keep going. And we react to people and to situations differently because we're hurting. But we never take that time to explain it, right? Right? We never take the time to explain why we're attacking, in a bad mood, and anything, because we don't. We do the best we can. But why not say, you know what? I've started doing that with Danielle. I read Danielle, GSR. I started doing it with Dan. I just started to say, I'm not well today, right? I'm not well today. I'm not doing good. So if he, right, and I suggest you guys do this the same, because I noticed, like this morning, I attacked him. Why? Number one, I'm irritated because I was alone last night. And in my mind, I think one of us needs to sleep, right? One of us needs to sleep. Why would you wake me up knowing that now you know, right? Sometimes it's harder for me to fall back asleep. Studies prove it's centered in the brain, yes, because we're hyper-focused on every little nook and cranny in our body. I also believe most people who have pain, probably, I believe, are hypochondriacs. How many of you that experience pain or have been labeled with fibro, that you're also a hypochondriac? Typically, right, this thing in here, I always say, is one of the strongest muscles we have. One of the strongest muscles we have. Now, I am a hypochondriac. So what do hypochondriacs do? They pay attention to every nook and cranny, which also builds up stress. Cortisone, levels that skyrocket, not including all the other bullshit we as women go through. So, how many of us who've been labeled fibro have hypochondriacism? Me. How many of you always think you're dying with something? Me. How many of you are anxious? Me. Makes sense. Makes sense, right? Makes sense. To me, anyway. To me, anyway. I know some doctors throw it around, right? When they don't know where your pain is coming from, but they know you have it, can't find it, and they'll just diagnose you with fibro, right? Some of my pain is, of course, stenosis in my neck, right? And what does your body do when you're arthritic? It protects it. The muscles, build up and tighten up, so that way your neck doesn't, go to the side or shit. Yeah, how many of you have panic attacks? Me. See how it all snowballs? It snowballs. 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 Yes, anxiety. It's all part of stress. It's a killer, trust me. Mighty climb mess with my joints, yes. And Kimber, I'm on birth control because it helps keep me balanced somewhat. But let me tell you something. Perimenopause, right? And I refuse to be debilitated. I refuse to be debilitated. But, yes, and it does. The more you stress, the more inflammation you have, and then the more heightened your pain is. It's exhausting. It's exhausting chasing that, right? When you wake up with a good day, mild pain, it's like you feel like you won the lottery. You feel like you've won the lottery. So I noticed too, I'm on my period, right? Yes, perimenopausal women still bleed. That's why we're peri, not menopause. And what happens when you are bleeding? Well, hormone surges, inflammation, cortisol, all that fucking bullshit too on top. So some of that could be my reaction to being on my period. So I've started with stress all night long while dealing with hormonal surges, cramping. I went to bed with the worst cramps, stress, and stress all night long. And then my husband thinking everything's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. I don't find humor in it. I'm very to the point when I'm in pain because I don't have time to sit and make everybody else feel better when I'm feeling like shit, right? So I get it. I see it. Men, if you're watching and you're women, go through this shit. And if they give you a warning, not a good day. Not a good day. Listen to them. Because poking them adds more stress at already a weakened state of heightened stress. And we are more vulnerable to attack and to come unglued. Yeah. Words of the wise. Be nice and support them because we are doing the best we can. And listen, yes, active listening. Active listening. Panic attacks are the scariest motherfucking things ever. Until you know, and when you see me, if I'm not talking about pain, I'm gonna give you a clue. If I don't talk about it and you see me doing shit like this during my run, you know it's a bad pain day. a bad pain day. Yes. And Peter says, and don't disagree. High five, bruh. High five. We are not in the mood. Hey, women, all of you women in pain, how many times you've ever, right, stop your husband or your partner, whomever, and say, not a good day? How many of you just attack because you're miserable and you're unhappy, right? Because you're not feeling great? Me. So I told myself I was going to do better now that I've been really like paying attention to maybe what causes flare-ups. I'm going to start saying, not good. I'm not well today, right? I'm not well today. And see if that helps them, right? Just knowing where you're coming from and hoping they catch a clue, right? Because it's debilitating. And I'm just a pusher through. Yeah. Sugars, yeah, I'm not a big sugar eater anymore. I used to be. And I cut back on my wine. And I've really, right, stopped drinking every day, right? I've been doing that now for a month. Or going on a month. And I haven't really noticed much difference in my body, per se. Debbie, I've been dealing with neuropathy for the last 15 years. It's pain inside. But nobody can see it, so they don't think you hurt. Yeah. You do become grumpy and nasty. Yes. And when you, Drake's looking for an ass beating. Yes, sleep is very important. One of the most important thing congrats. Congrats on the soberness. My intent is not to not drink. I do enjoy it. I've switched over to gummies, which have really helped my pain level at night. And go upstairs and sleep. Yeah. I just love my bed. It's really hard. But yeah, I need to sleep. I cannot go on nights of no sleep because it makes my inflammation worse, right? It makes it worse. Now, mind you, my drinking wasn't horrible, right? Like, was I drinking every day? Yes. Mostly 2 glasses a night. But I just didn't like the habit, the habitual, I need wine. It's 4 o'clock, let's drink. And surprisingly, it's been easy, right? It's been easy. It hasn't been hard. Like, I don't even think about it as much anymore. Like the first couple weeks, I was like, oh, God, I could use some wine. But now I've adjusted to, oh, Cindy, I'm so happy. That's your happy place. Sleep disturbances, yes, because of menopause. And that's why it makes it harder for me to fall asleep. Once I get up and start getting irritated at my husband, right, because he's waking me up, it increases stress, right? Bob Saget, shit. And so the more stressed out I get, the harder it is to fall back asleep, right, for me. So then within minutes, he's sleeping, and I'm like, this motherfucker, right? And it takes me a while. Last night, I contemplated going and watching one of my shows, and I was like, no, just work hard, try to get to bed. And right as I was drifting off, who wakes up? Bye, Brady. And it was just a hell of a night from there. A hell of a fucking night. My bed actually helps me when I sleep. I know. I would really, at one time when I can afford it, I would really like to purchase a good bed. Like, the zero gravity stuff and all those things. And because of a period, let me tell you, Drake, and she's young, right? She's young. When I was younger, my periods weren't bad. I didn't have bad periods at all. Me too. I see. Yeah, and it does. It ages, especially if they're drinking a lot. You know, could I down a bottle easily? Yeah, and feel good? Absolutely. But I just didn't want to make a habit of it, and I just really wanted to slow down. And I found, you know, that I stopped being so afraid of gummies because I've been in so much pain, you guys. At this point, it was like, fuck it, you know? I'll try anything to not feel this way. And I'm a hypochondriac, so I eased into the gummy and then got used to it in this last month, and yeah. So I'm working on myself, right? I'm trying to figure out what works and what things. I wouldn't buy a Sleep Number. No, a lot of people hate those things. You go to a store, Tina, if it's applicable in your state. My jaw's clenched. Yeah, my jaw is clenched. So Drake, I'm gonna tell you, in the last 8 months, my life has changed dramatically with hormones. My periods are not that I bleed heavy all the time, because it's weird. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's what's happening internally. The cramps. Oh, then every store will help you, girl. You walk in and you ask questions. I'm a question asker because I'm nervous about something, and my husband's like, just do it. Well, that doesn't help. You go into a place and you say exactly what it is. I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. Where do I begin? And you always start lower than what they tell you, right? I would start with 5 and then work your way up, or half of a 5. It depends on how freakazoid you are. I'm a freakazoid, so I started with half of a 5, then worked my way up to 5, and now I'm at a 10. Yeah. I do have a pregnancy pillow. Yeah, and Dan hates it and rips it out from the bed. He hates it because he likes to cuddle and the pillow gets in his way. So, speaking of fibroids, Rainbow, I had an interesting appointment yesterday. Yeah. So Drake, yes, it happens. The internal mechanisms of our body during periods are hell. Some people have the worst cramps. You get back cramps. You get all sorts of things. And you've got headaches. You feel like shit. You feel fluffy. You feel bloated. And you're just not kind. So the last thing you want is somebody pawing at you or touching you. Some people. Now, some people like the comfort of other people. Now, I can tell you with how my life has changed in the last 8 months. Yeah, Kelly, do it. I'm telling you. Take it from me, who is paranoid and who is scared as shit. A life changer for me at night. Now, I can't do it all day long because it conks me out. Bye, Gigi. It makes me really, really tired. And you guys can see me at night. I'm a different character, right? Because I'm completely mellow. I mean, I can get spicy. I just want you to know. But it takes a lot more for me to be spicy. Oh, sorry, Emily. I hate that. So, yes, Peter, be happy you are a man and don't have ovaries, a vagina, or fallopian tubes, a uterus, cervix, or, did I say ovaries? Yeah. So, let me talk about, speaking of ovaries. Yeah. No, Judith, I'm not. And today I'm not happy. Lack of sleep does that too. Gummies, Jackie, or the Benjamin. I like my Benjamin too because it fills in when needed. Other than last night. Other than from last night, because it all hit me at the same time on my member live, and we were just giggling. I couldn't follow shit. I was like, what is happening? I'm looking around and I'm like, oh shit. Everything just hit me all at once. I was feeling good. I was having no problems. And everybody was laughing at me. People were fucking with me. Because I was like, who did what? Pop on what? Where did the poop and the pop come from? I'm not finding it in the pudding. I said pudding and you said pop and poop. I'm so confused. It was funny. Hi, elves. A Benjamin is another form of, you can't say things on here. So you got to be very code worthy, if you know what I mean. So a Benjamin is an apparatus like a vape. People have nicotine in it, and some other people have, anyhow. It was great. Poop and dance pop. Y'all remember the pudding pops? That's how it started. Jade thought she was being funny and fucking with me. It worked. It worked. I lay down because she was funny. You should have one more baby before you can't. Says who? Junebug. Are you high? I should have one more baby. No, I'm good. Do you know what the potential risk of what did we say last night? No, I can't even say that on here. The pudding pops. The vanilla pudding pops. Yeah. In the commercials. Junebug, the cluck is right. Fuck. I mean, I'm 50, closer to 51. The vanilla pudding pops were my favorite. I remember sucking on those like I have never sucked before. Yeah. You missed it, Emily. You got to watch it. It was ridiculous. Because you're young, Drake. You're like 2, for fuck's sake. Hole in the Sky is completely trolling on. Yeah, who is this Hole in the Sky? I heard a lot of my friends are talking about Hole in the Sky. Anywho, so I had an ultrasound yesterday. Who remembers that? I had an ultrasound. Yeah. So I called. I thought they were banana, but I think they were vanilla. Or were they banana? I said banana last night. I said, wait a minute. Was it banana or vanilla? So anywho. Oh, thanks, Tina. I try, girl. I try. Anywho, Dan remembers those. Scrumptious. I'm not popping anything of Bill Cosby's in my mouth anymore. Anywho, so I called specifically the day before, right? Because I said the Flintstone push pops, they still have those, girl. Well, they have push pops. And some men have those as penises. Yeah. Anyhow, they do have churro gummies. I saw them yesterday at the candy store. Yeah. They have every flavor. So if you can get to a candy store, they have them. So, yeah, I went into this thinking that it was only an external. Maria was on 20. External, right? External. It was supposed to be external. So I was like, all right, I'm weird, y'all. So when I'm on my period, I'm very weird. Like, I don't want to put people in precarious situations and dig through the Red Sea, right? And first of all, nobody really wants to work under that stress. I mean, come on. You think radiological techs are like, please, I would love I hope every woman that comes in today is bleeding. No, says nobody ever, right? So I called and I said, can I just check what kind of thing I'm on, right? Like, am I external, internal? Because if it's internal, I'm gonna have to reschedule because that's just me. I don't. Anywho, so I get there, and she's like, all right, so we're gonna start externally, and then we'll do the internal. Time out. Internal? Yes, internal. I said, ooh. And I went through the whole thing of saying how I was told that it was going to be external. And she said, no, we do both. And she goes, let me see what I can do. And I explained to her the situation. And she's like, just so you know, we don't care. We work with blood. It's fine. Like, I don't look at you any other way. I don't do anything. But thank you for being worried about me. She was like, I appreciate that. I said, well, more people should be worried about you because this is ugly and it's dirty and it's smelly and it's just not right. Nobody should be fumbling in a vagina that is emitting dead eggs, you know, or skin. So, okay. She's like, hey, look, we could do internal. Let me see what I can see. And then she's like, ooh. Nobody wants to hear it, ooh. She's like, your bladder's not full. All right, what does that mean? Well, what it means is I got to do it internal. I got to do internal. But hey, I'll do whatever you want, right? If you don't want internal, you come back and we'll do it. And I was like, well, fuck it. I don't want to come back because that means another no, and then another copay and $95 copay. No, like, fuck, I'll suck it up. She goes, I really don't mind. Trust me. And it wasn't a heavy day yesterday. It was like spot. It was the beginning. It was spotting. But just enough to make me uncomfortable. So, you know, she gears it up, puts the sleeve on the, you know, and it looks like a probe, you know, of some sort, you know. And so she, you know, normal, typical KY jelly on it, right? Sticks it up, pressure, you know, and you're like, okay, woo, this is uncomfortable. Gotta love it though, you know, gotta love it. So anyway, she's looking at the right ovary, taking her pictures and stuff, and you know, it felt weird. And then they put the pressure, you know, you feel like your ass is gonna, like, something's gonna come out my ass, right? Because the pressure that they put on it. So I'm like, oh shit. So then, you know, then she's like, she finishes on that side. She's like, okay, done with the right side. Now I'm going to the left, you know? And I was like, all right. You know, that was easy peasy. Now, let me tell you something. Mind you, okay, when I was walking in, I see this couple, right? And the woman looks distraught. You know, she's holding her husband's hand and she's kind of like just rocking, like they were waiting from some, you know, news of some testing that was done. Goes to X-ray, mammogram, ultrasounds, and all sorts of stuff. And then as she's spending what feels like 45 minutes on one side, couldn't locate it, you know, and this woman out there starts just profusely, just like crying, like dead out bawling. And I'm like, oh, this is great. What happened to her, you know? Meanwhile, she's still trying to find my ovary. So I said, well, what's going on? You know, I mean, they move it down, you know, and then you feel the pressure, and then they go out, and then they move it like, I mean, I've never felt my vagina manipulated in such a way. You know, when you have a child, there's just one way of manipulation. It's just straight out. Now, when you have a vaginal ultrasound, I have never experienced the type of Gumby gymnastics that she was trying to get and do inside of my internal shit to see. I was missing an ovary. Not really, but she couldn't find it. Yeah. She couldn't find it. It was lost. So I was like, is this normal? Do you just lose an ovary? You know, is it flopping? You know, is it just sitting there hanging somewhere? And she starts laughing. And she's laughing, and she's like, well, it doesn't just really get lost, but sometimes some sides are just hard to see. Now, she didn't tell me, and I said, are you, like, is it something with age? Like, is this normal? Or should I be concerned? Should we alert the FBI to come find my left ovary? CIA? I don't know. Hannibal Lecter? Like, who can sniff it out and find it so you don't have to fucking tear my vagina apart? Right? I didn't know what was happening. So eventually she found it, right? She found it, and it was in such an awkward position. And I said, did you find her? She said, yep, we found her. But why the hell did it take so long? And why did she spend so much time taking pictures of my left ovary? Is she dilapidated? Is she shriveled?
You know, I've been thinking about this whole, you know, ovary examination, perimenopause.
Dan's been so excited to tell you all about this.
Basically,
this is what he said. So those of you who have Patreon have already heard it, but go ahead.
Basically, you know, her vagina's in the shop, right? Just like we've had 2 cars in the shop the other day. But when you put a car in the shop, what do you get? You get a loaner. You get like a rental. there should be the same when your vagina goes in the shop. There should be like you know a temporary vaginal assistant or something, TVA, whatever you want to call it. And it's just like you turn your car in, you get a new one. Then you when yours is done, you go back and you trade it in. I'm just I'm thinking like outside the box, trying to help people through their marital issues. I'm just thinking, a temporary vaginal agency or a company that dealt like that. I think it might be, you could sign up for it right there at the doctor's office.
Not my
You're
mouth.
probably going to be out of commission for a week if you need some.
That's what Sherry. And you know what I handed him when he said that to me this morning? I lifted that box. And
Outside
I said,
the box leads to inside.
I
the
said,
box.
here is your box, and that's your usage. That's your rental right here. He said, that's not what I want. Well, that's what you get.
You could be. I mean, they could be, mechanical or whatever, electric, whatever, or they could be, the old-fashioned way. Either way, something to use while.
And Lily
while
said
it's in
a
the shop.
mouth, but I have TMJ, and so when I'm in inflammation, the mouth doesn't open. It really hasn't opened in a long time, but that's fine. She's out of commission too. Yeah. He uses his hand multiple times a day, and he still wants more. I mean, all you men out there, if you are playing, the magical flute multiple times in a day, one time, let's just say you're playing your flute at least once a day. Are you still looking for more relief, or are you content with that one song you just played?
I mean, you're talking about apples and oranges. So what you're talking about first, the initial, I mean, that's literally like, if you want to do the car analogy, that would be like going to a used car dealership and buying some car with a 30-day guarantee that's going to break down the minute you get away.
Marty said 3 songs a day.
And now if you went to the shop, you'd get a new model. You'd get a model with low miles. It would be, it's just different. I know you're supposed to get compatible, like on a car, you get like a like kind model. So I don't know, it could be a 50-year-old.
Oh my gosh. They found her. She's safe. She was just in a weird place. Now, I just learned that ovaries shrivel as they age, like raisins. I didn't know that. So maybe this one was smaller than the other one, and it was hard to locate because, number one, I did not drink enough water. And did you know?
I think that in my heyday, I just shoved it way up, so far up there that it's hidden and gone behind something.
He does curve to the left, so that could have pushed it away. I don't know. Anyhow. I don't know. So I should be maybe getting some results back, but yeah, it scared me that I hear this woman crying in the background, right? And she couldn't find my ovary. Like, do they just drop off? Like, does it shrivel until it's dead? Like, and you don't see anything but like a little like string or something spring? I mean, how do the ovaries stay intact on the fallopian tubes is what I want to know. So is just the adapter to the ovary still there? Anybody know? Anyhow, Tennessee loves me. I hope so, because I was born there and I got Tennessee blood in my body in a box of left. Oh shit. Too much. Y'all are too much. Too much. Anyway. Yeah, they're raisins. So if you are 50 and over, your ovaries are not well. They are like dehydrated prunes. I don't know. And then I was thinking maybe she was pregnant, Cassidy, right? And then I was like, well, maybe she was pregnant and maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's just horrible because, so many different people are in there for different reasons. And I'm just thankful that hopefully mine is just, I don't know. Yeah, I was almost thinking like she was like pregnant and her baby wasn't there because they looked kind of young. But I didn't notice this, but I didn't look at the time because I just kind of saw them and I saw her face and I saw just the husband, just kind of like holding her hand, but just looking straight ahead. And she was just like, rocking. And You could tell she had been crying, so it was horrible. And that like fucked me up, right? As she's trying to find my missing ovary, right? So I don't know what had happened in there or what she did, but something was concerning. Should I be worried? No. I don't think you should. I'm just trying to rule shit out, so I'm spending hundreds of dollars in copays to just try to make sure that I'm okay and being preventative. I'm 61, went into immediate severe depression when menopause started, no perimenopause. And so some of you, no, I would never remove anything unless you have to. My personal thing is like, if it's, if it just dies there, who cares if it's not causing any harm? But they say, I'm going to tell you something, they say women who are menopausal, and I'm going to say menopausal meaning peri or anything else, have the highest rate of suicide. It's a really high percentage because of depression. And I can tell you with everything that my body has experienced in the last 8 months, I have some really extreme days, bad days. And some of the times, like I still came on here and did my thing with y'all, but inside I was really struggling. And I'm going to talk about that more now that I understand what's going on, right? I'm going to talk to you about my medical journey, making sure I'm okay, what I do to fix things, what I'm doing as prevention, just playing around with things that work for me. So yeah, I think it's really important to be open, People are so sorry about the noise in the background. Tim and Tom always do this shit up to me on a Wednesday. And it's windy. So it's like, why are you spending all this time blowing your leaves when it's windy AF out here? And it's only going to get worse. So keep blowing. Thrown into menopause. Yeah. And you guys, it's a fucking shit show. It's a fucking shit show. Just so you know, and some of you didn't really have the peri, but you probably did and just were so minute in that. And yeah, depression is tough. I've had some low days. Some days where I've questioned myself. Yeah. I was very high functioning, had my own company, and then bam. Yeah, I think no, it's not, Gracie Kid. It happens. I started peri at 36. Yeah, at 36. What is your motivation? And really that's what they're checking for. It's just to make sure everything's kosher inside. I had the endometrial biopsy, remember, a week ago or so. And then everything showed no endometriosis or cervical cancer or anything like that. So this is just looking for making sure it's fucking annoying. Making sure everything is fine. Like no fibroids or cysts or anything like that. I had my last brat at 35. Yeah, no, thank you. My last brat was 30 and I was okay with that. Grandpa, how is he doing today? So far he was chipper, woke up with a smile on his face. I sure as hell didn't, but he did. I had everything taken out at 30 years because I needed it done. Yeah, I did have peri really young. Yeah, started going through it really hard. I wish I had known more back then. I know, and a lot of people, when you're on your period, shit like this, it really pisses you off, right? It's just an agitation. It's like just a little gnat that just won't leave you alone. Started monthly when I was 9 years old. Oh my gosh. I think that if you start earlier, you may get, yeah, I don't know. It's tough, girl. Just know everybody tries differently. I pray that you consider psychotherapy because of hormonal imbalance plus the chronic pain and the FHA depression. Increased stress puts you at high risk for major depression. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of it. This beeping sound is really bugging me too. It's my machine. My machine. It's my It was, that was pissing me off too. Um, my head is pounding today, you guys. I'm gonna have a fucking mammogram today, and my titties are sore, so this should be fun. It's my heat pump. Telling me my heat pump's on, which is a scald risk. Yeah. Do you go into menopause early? I'm at 50 and still not in menopause. Yeah. So my sister started her period at 10. Now is going through menopause at 42, and I would think that, like, the earlier you start, I would think that for sure. Who I know named Hole in the Ground. Is this called menopause? I think you got to go to bed, honey. You need to get it under control. What is bed gonna do for me? At 28, because I was told that I had an enemy, only to find out that I didn't. Lisa, isn't that that's a lawsuit? I hope you filed a lawsuit against malpractice, because that's what that sounds. No, Coda got out. It wasn't Dan's fault this time. It was Andrew's. Yeah.
Stupid dog.
Hi, Gracie. No, Laura, it's a brand. That's ridiculous. Creams is right here. Coco, she's right here. Coco, come here.
Where's Baxter?
Come here. I'm gonna go get Baxi.
Where's Baxter?
Come on, where's Baxi? Sorry. Sorry. Ugh, I love that women are talking more in my mind. You know, and mine really didn't either, but she died pretty quick, you know? My aunt had a hysterectomy, so I couldn't even ask her about it because, you know, she had a hysterectomy due to medical issues. So, you know, I couldn't, I didn't have anybody to talk to. So my mom died at 53, but I remember her diagnosed with endometriosis at 50, right? So, and then she got cancer and then had chemo, and that put her in a chemo menopause, right? So I think it's really, important to talk about it because I think like there's so many women that were raised to keep your issues to yourself. And I think it's shitty because then you feel alone and it doesn't give you, you know, you don't ask because you just don't. And you think it's something that's, you know, you're alone in. And it was really nice. You know, it's really nice to share stories and to learn from one another. I have been like this my whole life. I've been like this my whole life. So, you know, people look at as a huge, like faux pas. I don't look at it as a faux pas. If I choose to share my stories and my issues, that's on me. It's not on anybody else to tell me how and what to do. And I think that's society from so long ago was that way. Don't ask, don't tell, don't talk, right? Same thing. It doesn't help to keep quiet because it helps so many other people, right? Understand and maybe show them that it's normal, right? Everybody goes through their own shit. And not only that, everybody goes through their own shit. Everybody's are different. Everybody metabolizes differently. Everybody's, you know, bodies do different things. Some people don't lose hair. Some people go bald. I mean, it's all over the place. But I think it's fun to share knowledge because it helps, makes me feel not so alone. You know, yeah, your generation, it was Sue. My mom's too. I was kind of raised to just, I've always been an open book. And I don't think I was raised to be quiet, but I know in my mom's day, she was raised to be quiet, right? Your mom left pamphlets. Oh my God, on your bed. Joanne, can you imagine? Like, and you're not the only one. Like some parents, some of my friends too, their parents gave them books and they wouldn't talk about it. And to me, it's so important to keep my kids informed. And it was so important to keep my kids informed and to teach them from such a young age. So they were knowledgeable. Knowledgeable. And some moms just couldn't talk to their kids about it. And by the way, I'm the one who talked to Andrew about his privates and you know how it works and what it does, and Dan wouldn't talk about it. I was like, you deal with the penis, I took care of the vaginas, right? And he's like, I'm not talking about that. Dan, nobody told me. I had to learn it on my own. I was like, oh geez. But we don't do that to our kids. We talk to our kids. No, I don't. So then I guess that's you. So I did. You know, my mom had a hysterectomy at 38 to not upset her. I had endometriosis in my 20s. I have 2 children and had a hysterectomy at 35. Ugh, Lori, at least you had your babies, you know? I can't imagine that there are people out there who, you know, unfortunately had hysterectomies early and never will experience, you know, having their own. I talked to my son also. My peen is not a muscle. The vag is not a muscle. Here we go again. So, yeah, I had to talk about that with Andrew. And a lot of the things he comes to me for anyway. He did, because he's like, can you imagine going and asking Dad that question? Dad would be like, go ask your mom. And that's Dan. I mean, he can't deal with that shit. I mean, occasionally when he talks weird on the live, I'm like, wow. I'm impressed. Why are men that way? I don't know. It's really irritating. I wish I got pamphlets. I got the masturbation film in 4th grade. Don't wash your hair during your period. what? What the hell? Yeah, my husband's clueless. But, you know, he was a product of divorce, right? His mom went back to school, so he was really on his own. He had no, like, teachings of what, you know, he was just, like, I envisioned Dan in those times of, like, you know, 8 or younger. I mean, could you imagine? That kid was just all over the place. He would ride his bike to practice. He would go to his games, you know. Just, he was taking care of himself. After my 2 kids. Ugh. It's usually from their mothers. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just think that, like, you know, I don't know how the other siblings are, but I think, you know, with Dan being the product of divorce, you know, while they were going through the divorce, I'm sure there was not a lot of attention because, you know, stress can, and then she was in school and trying to work as a single mom. And so, like, there's a lot of things. But, like, at 56, you should, you know, gain some insight, especially after being with me for 30 plus years. He left alive. Is that your issue? No, I don't have endometriosis. No, he's not different with A-Man. No, it's me. I'm the mom and the dad. Yeah. I'm the mom and the dad. I have depression. I talk about my pain and depression, like, but I know what you mean, that most older ones kept feelings inside. Yeah. And, you know, I really kept my feelings inside to you too. You know, some of you are like, Danielle, I didn't realize you were in that much pain. And when I think about it, I'm like, that's the one thing I never spoke to you guys about was my internal pain. And I don't know why. I think I was in denial. I think I just didn't know what was going on. I couldn't make sense of it. I didn't understand what it was. I assumed it was just stress. So I don't know. Isn't that weird? Like, I didn't know. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if I was being a hypochondriac, right? I didn't know if I was going to be, I didn't know, you know? I just lived it every day with varying degrees of pain. I don't know. And people are like, holy shit, Danielle. I'm like, I know, holy shit, right? Because this whole time, I have been in pain. Today, I'm at a 6.5 right now. Started at a 5.5. Was a 6 before the live, and now I'm about a 6.5. Yeah. With a headache right here. And my jaw. So now I'm talking about it because now it makes sense to me, right? Now that I understand it, it makes sense to me. Yes. And so I couldn't talk about something I didn't know that existed, or I didn't know it was pain. I talked to you about my TMJ pain, right? But I didn't hyper-focus on it because I thought hyper-focus on, even though my brain was, I thought by talking about it was going to make it more prevalent. And I was trying to ignore it, but it doesn't ever go away. I don't know. I think it was such a weird thing for me because I didn't understand it and it was misunderstood to me. And I just felt like I was being weak and a baby. And like my PT said, you know, she said, Danielle, you've lived it with it for so long that it was normal for you. It wasn't pain, right? You were just experiencing discomfort because that was your idea to mask the pain, but it was really pain. It's a different type of a pain, right? It's not like stubbing your toe or cutting yourself or breaking a bone. It's a chronic pain that you deal with every day. I think fibromyalgia is still very misunderstood. I do. And I see the skeptics, and I know that a lot of doctors use it as a term when they don't know what's going on. I do believe it's something not made up because my pain is real and I know what's causing my pain. And it's not fun because when this is inflamed, everything else from here gets bad, which affects your whole person and it affects your whole day. And it affects your whole mood, right? And it just affects everything. You just want to go in your room, hide from the world and not be spoken to and not have to talk. And Sherry, I think that's a lot. As women, if we bitch about certain things, we're just being weak, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I've learned a lot about myself, right? I mean, this is called reflection. And I spent a lot of time reflecting in the last week since, my pain doctor was like, you fit in this mold, and this is why. And this is what it is. And this is what happens in varying degrees of fibromyalgia. And it makes sense, right? It makes sense. And then, I start thinking about what triggers it. And I can't really pinpoint it, but now I'm paying more attention to it. So I'm trying to be more aware so I can maybe prevent or alleviate it from being too much. Yeah, I know. And that's why I'm talking to you guys about it, because I was in denial, I guess, and that sort of denial, or just unsure of what was happening and why it was happening. I could assume that I knew it was from my traps, right? But now knowing about all my other ailments, right? The mental issue stuff like anxiety, hypochondriacism, all that stuff, and the hyper focusing on these areas. Like when you have fibro too, right? You can never stop thinking about what's in pain. So our pain dial is high, right? Because we feel it. We feel everything. We feel every twitch. We feel and it just seems how the correlation between being a hypochondriac and fibromyalgia go hand in hand. I can pinpoint it because I know I've just had I've paid enough money. My buzzer is going off again. I don't know why. It's really irritating. Just saying it's really hot. I gotta clean that today. So, doctors lie, lady. Okay. Then we have those idiots like that say, oh, it's just all in your head. You don't have pain. Now you believe it because the doctor said so. No, I went into the doctor for regional pain syndrome. In the UK, that's what they're calling it. Which, at least until I know what's causing it, right? I'm a middle-aged lady that isn't active enough, coming from Hugh. Yeah. So, anyhow. She's gone. It's Thanksgiving break. What did I miss, Drake? Your girl. Always in pain and told to take Marital and just deal with it. When pregnant, found I have double uterus. That explains the problem. A double uterus? Wow. Yes, we're just hypersensitive to everything. Yeah. Yeah, he's lucky he's not over here. Yeah, he's over here. Now he's asking my height and my weight and my age. Hi, Pat. Like I'm going to give it to a ninny. Let me tell you, Hugh. Let me tell you so you can tell me your fucking bullshit prescription from social media. Anyhow. So with that, I'm going to leave. Yes. With that, I'm going to leave. My neck is killing me. So I'm in pain. So now I'm going to just recognize that I'm hurting and say, I am hurting. I'm going to leave and go sit down. But anyway, I thank you. Remember, it's World Kindness Day. So try to be kind today as much as you can and as much as the idiots allow you to be. And I'm not saying you necessarily have to be kind to an idiot because idiots don't deserve it. But try to be kind to the loved ones that surround you. Anyway, you are worthy, you are important, and you matter, and your feelings are just that, yours. We all, decode things in our own ways and interpret things differently on how people treat us and so on and so forth. If something's not working for you, walk away. And walk away and leave it in the past and focus on your future. There you have it. Hopefully see you later, depending on how I am later. So love ya. Have a good one.